Alrighty, this video is going to be a walkthrough of my K5LA. So what do we have here? Bells 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, bells 1, 2, and 5, nothing different. Well, except for the 5, I'll explain that in a minute. But, bells 3 and 4 are different. Well, you know, on this one it's different from a K5LA. You can see this one's sandblasted, unlike the other ones, which I bead blasted myself. But anywho, that's not the point right now. But all these bells are 80s era, but this one here is 90. Now, a quick way to tell if it's an 80s or 90s bell is to simply, one of the ways is to look at the back cap. Let me get an 80s and 90s. There we go. You can see right there, it's got a 3 and then a fat 0 and then a line going straight down and then another fat 0 and then 9. Now let's take a look at the 90s or narrow font. You can see it's got a 3, a skinny 0 and then a 1. It's got that little line up top. And then another skinny 0, and then a 9. So that's one way to tell if it's an 90s horn. Let's put those both back. Now another way you can tell is by simply looking at the little circle mark right there. You can see that right there is kind of raised. It's kind of raised. If you put your finger over it, you'll feel it raises up about, I'll probably say about almost a millimeter. See a better view right there. And then that's for an 80s or wide font. And then for a 90s, yeah, it's on this side. Bear with me. Alright, focus. See, can I do this? There we go. Alright, you can kind of see it's. You can see it's still there, but it's what they call a ghost circle or dot, which is there, but it's not recessed or nothing. Let me tilt it back. And if you put your finger over it, you can feel it, but it's not raised at all. So that's another way of finding out if it's a wide font or a narrow font. Alright, so that's enough with the number 3. Let's move on to the number 4. This here is a number 4. Is a 4 bell, but you see it's got a little shim on it. This right here, thanks to Mike Muha, he was able to machine me a shim, which makes this become from a 4A to a 4, straight 4 bell. And because I got a 4 and a 3 bell, they're both straight, which converts this from a K5LA into a K5L. That's enough with the number 4. Now let's move on to the number 5. Whoops, kicking everything around here. Alright. Now, for those of you who actually do watch my videos, you'll see for a number of years I had a little black ring around here. And this was because that when I first got the horn, when we were taking the back cap bolt off, we kind of broke 4 bolts on the number 5. You can see my little repair job right here. And a little hint to the wise when you're doing this type of repair, put the bell in an oven and heat it up, because heating this up with a torch is not very fun, because you have the torch for on it for about 5 minutes before you can start putting the aluminum welding rod in it. But anyway, I was surprised because I believe this guy right here had solder in it. It had like regular lead solder in it, which I was quite surprised. But anywho, I had to drill them out, smooth that out, clean it, And then I put aluminum welding rod in here. I filled it 4 holes. And I don't think I did too bad of a job. This one I just screwed up a little bit. It's just out of alignment. Like, instead of it being straight on, it's just tilted a little bit. So, and it still tightens down firmly. But that little black ring around here was actually electric tape. It was sealing the back cap from the chamber itself. Well, luckily I was able to recently fix that up, and now this thing's in good working order. Alright, one last thing. Diaphragms. Let's put that up there. Alright, here is all, actually, move these guys too. Now, all these guys here is the original diaphragms that came with the K5LA straight off the locomotive. Now, I believe this was a Norfolk Southern because bells 2 and 4 were a little bit easier to remove, because when I first got it, it was all bells facing forward. But I believe that it came from a Norfolk Southern because the 2 and 4 bells were a bit easier to remove. Now, if it was, and that indicates me that it tells me that these 2 bells were reversed, and then the previous owner before me took the bolts off and then made it face the other way. So that's what tells me that this was a Norfolk Southern. Now, if it was all bells facing forward, this will be an Amtrak K5LA. Alright, now let's get back on to the, getting a little sidetracked. Here are the diaphragms. Straight off of the locomotive, these are the original ones. You can see it's got a lot of corrosion. This one's got a pretty deep ring on it. That one's got another deep ring. But anywho, this one here was from the number 3 bell. But anyway, I'll be doing 2 tests on this K5L. One, all original diaphragms. I'll be doing the newest side, so I get the best sound possible. And then the second test will be these. Now, these are actually beryllium copper diaphragms. See, it's the same dimensions as a K diaphragm. Same thickness, same everything. Come on, focus. There we go, now it's focusing. You can see it's the same thickness, which is 0.185 if I'm correct, or 0.0185. It's something very thin. Correct me if I'm wrong. But anyway, I'll be doing 2 tests. One with all original diaphragms, newest side possible. And then the second test will be these beryllium copper diaphragms. Now, these were never used at all. These were fresh out of the machine shop. You can see that none of them have wear marks. This will be my second test. And supposedly these make it add a little bit crisper sound to it. But we'll see in the videos to come. And there's my original 3A and then 4A. And that's pretty much it for the K5L. I hope you liked the video, and hopefully it sounds nice. And we'll see how it sounds. So now it's up to the mountains, and let's let this baby rip.